So y'all know what it is. Yesterday, Cruz versus Roach. Very, very good competitive fight. In it in the draw, controversy. Everybody's talking. Some people feel Cruz won. Some people feel Roach won. I watched the fight. I fucked around and ordered the PPV. Fucking with because when you got Prime, I'm gonna rewatch the fight because when you got Amazon Prime, you could rewatch the fight on there if you ordered it. So I'm gonna rewatch it. I ain't rewatched it yet. Been watching football all day. But from what I saw when I first watched it live, my take on the actual fight. This is what I think. I think it was a very, very competitive fight. I liked what I saw. Both fighters are good. I think Roach is a little bit better, but Pitbull Cruz is good. Pitbull Cruz, the truth. Shout out to Pitbull Cruz. Me personally, I thought the score was appropriate. I thought the draw was correct. Because when you add the 10-8 round in favor of Cruz, and when you add the 10-9 round, 10-9 round or 10-8 round that from Cruz, from what I understand was a hip punch. When you add that with how the fight played out, you do the math on that, it equaled the draw. From what I'm seeing. But I'm gonna have to rewatch that though, because I feel like if there was no knockdown and if there was no point deduction and the fight played out how it played out, I ain't gonna cap. I feel like Roach won. I feel like it was close because Pitbull was doing good at first. Roach got caught. Because some people were saying that Roach had a bad game plan. He tried to bang with Pitbull Cruz. Me personally, I feel differently. I don't feel like it was a bad. I don't see nothing wrong with trying to bang, pause, and then switch it up and try to box, like show some versatility. I don't see nothing wrong with that, me personally. So I don't think he had a bad game plan. I think it was solid what he was doing. I think the problem in that fight was Pitbull Cruz was missing a lot, and then he would land shots that were kind of like not clean shots, but the crowd would like roar like he was landing big shots. You see what I'm saying? In the early parts of the fight. And I think that influenced the judges. You know what I'm saying? Because that 115 to 111, nah, bruh. I say from round 4 and up, Roach showed great ring generalship, and he was outboxing Cruz. He was doing work. He was hitting with the jab, check, left hook, catching him. Cruz was missing badly, bro. Cruz was trying to hit him with big shots. He did land some big shots. I thought that knockdown was a great shot from Cruz. The way he countered, that punch was on time. It was crisp. I stood up and clapped when Cruz hit him with that shot. That was a great shot from Cruz. Shout out to Cruz. But I thought Roach recovered. He never looked hurt in that fight. And he kind of he looked strong the whole fight despite that knockdown, because it was a knockdown because Cruz hit him with a clean shot, right? But the way Roach reacted, was like how somebody would react if they got hit it was a flash knockdown. He didn't really fall on his ass and was down. He kind of wobbled and shit. You saw him stumble and his fucking glove hit the ground, so it's a knockdown. So he reacted like it was a flash knockdown, even though it is a knockdown because he landed clean on him. That was a great shot by Cruz, great punch by Cruz. But I think after that, Roach he slowly but surely took over the fight. He was out punching him, out jabbing him. His power shots was on point. You can't always trust the CompuBox numbers. You can't always trust that. But the CompuBox numbers or the stats, it lined up with what I saw. Cruz was doing good body work, but everything else, that was all Roach. You know what I mean? That was all Roach. So add that in, it caused for the fight to be considered a draw. So I think that was appropriate. If there's no 10-8 round, Roach probably would have won that shit. But it was a good fight, though. Like I said, Pitbull Cruz got heart, very competitive dude. I like Pitbull Cruz. No, he's not this great Hall of Fame type fighter, but he's a very good fighter. I like Pitbull Cruz. I think Roach is a little bit better, so I like Roach too. So it was a very good fight. Very good fight. Yeah, that shit was what's up. It was a good fight. I'm going to rewatch it, though, because There's some things that I might have missed. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. But from what I saw, if there's no 10-8 round, Roach probably would have won that shit. Because in the second half of that fight, he was cooking Cruz. And then you also gotta remember, the crowd was also quiet for the majority of the later rounds because even they knew that Cruz was kind of getting cooked. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I'm not going to say it's a robbery, though, because I think the 10-8 round kind of made the fight become a draw. You do the math on that, the fight became a draw. So I think it was the right score. It was a draw. If you're a Cruz fan, you good because you didn't go home with a loss. If you're a Roach fan, you good because you didn't go home with a loss. Neither fighter lost. So everything is good. So you ain't even got a trip. So it was a great fight, good competition, good matchup, very interesting matchup. Shout out to both fighters. You know, like I said, nobody lost. It was a draw. So, yeah, we good. You know, watching football all day, so I couldn't rewatch the fight, but I'm going to get into it in a little bit. But nah, great fight. Like I said, shout out to Roach, shout out to Cruz, and on to the next.